And Debbie just got a pull of one of the sponsors of the show.
Literally complimentary. Did you
did?
play that?
No, I didn't. So, hey everybody, welcome to the Shrimp City Report. My name is Devin.
I'm DJ. How's it going?
It's going well for me, and I'm sure it's going well for the audience today. Everybody out there in Antigua. Excuse me. I've turned off any chats or anything, so we're not distracted today. Otherwise, if you have any, if you see any glitches or, I said glitches. Okay. Yeah, if you see any mess ups, just hit us on our regular communication.
We love being told that we messed up.
I particularly like it. It seems like I do it all the time at work. So we've had a pretty eventful last couple of weeks. We just put out the M. Dumas and Sons podcast.
Yeah, it turned out really great.
That did turn out really good. I was very pleased with that. We're fans of that place anyway, so it's wonderful to get by there.
Got a lot of irons in the fire too.
Yeah, we did a lot of traveling, not exactly podcast related, but actually we did cover the Best of Charleston 2025, and the Shrimp City Report is Best of Charleston nominated podcast. So anyway, we were covering the Best of Charleston, so that was pretty rad.
Yeah, fantastic. You're able to get tickets for it. Try all the great food of Charleston, all the great drinks of Charleston, and even try more of the great drinks of Charleston.
And they were very kind to us, and it was at Building 64, which is a pretty rad spot in the Navy Yard, or the old Navy Yard, so that's where we got to go with that, and then we peeled right off into a bunch of concerts.
Yeah, concerts. I mean, do we want to give our 30-second review of the ICP concert?
How about you get Mastodon first?
Mastodon, right. I loved it. Firefly is one of my favorite, like, outside venues for music, you know.
Right, those were at a former guest, Firefly Distillery.
Yeah.
So we saw Mastodon there. It was very radical, a lot of people, nice pit. It's not too hard to get all the way up front.
Yeah.
I guess 250 years old. I'm not 250 chaos.
Get your ears blasted.
Yeah, so then we peeled off of that and we went to the Insane Clown Posse concert in Charlotte.
Got Fago sprayed?
Got Fago sprayed, we got our Fago bottle.
That was like a music bucket list for you.
It was a bucket list, although when I walked in there, I'm sure they thought I was FBI. So. Anyway, we're going to take a little break, even though we're still live, and we are going to roll in our featured guest for tonight, Jesse and Sabrina. Y'all want to come have a seat? One of y'all can come right over here. Who likes to talk the most?
Yeah.
Is it equal?
Probably both of us, to be honest.
Okay.
Sales reps, you know, so we like to talk.
Well, while we're here, Jesse, you want to speak into your microphone, and there are headphones, so you'll be able to hear what's going on.
Oh, hey, it's good to be here.
It's good to be here. Wait, where are you from, Alabama?
Pretty close.
I actually work for a restaurant down in Hilton Head Island, and I get that a lot. I'm from down under.
Right on.
Yeah, chuck another shrimp on the barbie, I hear at least 16,000 times a week.
Yeah, so you're from Australia.
From Australia, yep.
You know, that's interesting because Wibby Brewing has a Vienna lager, so just like Vienna's in Australia, so that works out really well.
Vienna, yeah. It actually throws everyone when I'm like, yeah, so the brewery's in Colorado, and everyone's like, that's not an Australian brewery.
Sorry, I was going to do Austrian jokes all day.
Vienna. No, yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah, so tell us, number one, which district, y'all are sales reps?
Yes.
And first introduce yourself, Sabrina, please.
Hey, I am Sabrina. I work for Bear Island Distributors. No worries. We are just here in South Carolina, but we are a craft beer distributor.
Can you change over to this microphone?
Yeah.
There's something buggy with that one.
I think it's because we're not close to the speaker.
Here, I'll do that single face.
Yeah, so I work for Bear Island. It's actually a place. I did not know what Bear Island was until I started working for Bear Island, but it's outside of Bluffton, little island that the owners grew up on, and we specialize in local craft, regional beers, and boutique wines. Yeah.
Oh, right on.
We're doing a
So,
little Wibby tap takeover tonight. It's Benny Rinaldi's.
okay.
Awesome, yeah.
Then how about you, Jesse?
So I work for Wibby Brewing. So Wibby Brewing's out of Colorado, Longmont, next to Boulder there.
It is.
And 2023 Brewery of the Year in the Great American Beer
I
Awards.
saw that.
Yeah, so that was a pretty good award to win, and through that the owner's dad and one of the investors lives in Hilton Head Island.
Oh,
So he wanted all his mates to drink the beer. So
Okay.
the best way to do that was to go through a local distributor. I actually met him on a golf course one day, and I did a similar role in Australia for a brewery called Young Henry's.
Yep.
And he was like, "Hey, would you help us out?" So yeah, we launched in South Carolina in June 2024, and through the help of all the unreal reps they have at Bear Island, it's been a very successful launch.
awesome. Can you tell us about, I guess, some of the selections they have, or
Yeah.
relatable?
Yeah,
ones?
absolutely. So we're a lager-based brewery, and Ryan, the head brewer, he did his apprenticeship in New England, and the big hazy beers weren't really for him. So he took himself over to Germany and wanted to learn the craft of German beers, and he's brought that back to America and mixed the malts from Germany and with the American hops, and just a purely lager-based brewery.
Yeah, I mean, Germany, you're talking about literally like the crown jewel of lagers.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Helles lager that I'm drinking now, Leitron Helles, is actually the only international beer to ever win gold in the Frankfurt Beer Awards.
Wow.
Man, that's pretty fat.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a total pedestrian and layman on anything about beer, except for drinking large quantities of it. But that's so rad. Then I was reading that he actually studied at the VLB there, and if anybody doesn't know, that's a college in Berlin, or an educational facility that teaches folks how to brew and become better brewers and be chemists and stuff like that. Man, my grammar is shit today. God.
Yeah, and he was
Blame the pints.
he's a chemistry major as well, so that's pretty good for brewing beer.
That is fantastic. That's fantastic. Hey, what's up, Steven?
I just want to say thank you very much for all your brewing skills, Jesse. Cheers for bringing thanks, pal.
So, friend Stephen Bates, fine photographer, a local bon vivant. So, Sabrina, what's your deal? What do you do over there with why am I blanking? Bear Island.
Yeah, distribution, beer sales. Yeah,
Right.
I manage the Charleston area. I've been with Bear Island for a few years. I'm from here, actually from Hanahan, so
Okay.
Park Circle especially is really close to my heart. I knew this place whenever it was almost nothing, and Evo was like the only restaurant on the spot, and it's blown up so much in the past 10, 15 years. So it's really cool. I love beer. I've been drinking beer with my dad since won't admit what age, but for a while. My dad actually lived in Germany too for a long time when he was growing up, so I'm very familiar with German lagers and really good beer. And Bear Island's cool. We are a really great culture. We really focus on just trying to find the best product we can. So I love Charleston. I love beer, and
Yeah, I mean,
spreading it.
work must have just like grown exponentially these past like 2 years, especially in Park Circle, yeah.
Yeah, Park Circle's blown up. It's so great. I love downtown too. I went to school at College of Charleston.
Okay.
So, I love downtown, but I feel like Park Circle is just very different. It's artsy, it's progressive, but it's also really familial. Like everybody's really amicable, and it feels just like a family vibe over here. So it's great. It's a great area to be.
Yeah, I think that Park Circle is probably a good place to also not test out, but maybe get beer out here, because there's a lot of discerning beer drinkers around here that are educated to beer. I see, no offense to any other IPAs or something, but there's a lot of IPA fatigue now. So if you have German type beers that you're starting to put out, that's definitely going to get some traction.
Yeah, we're noticing a huge like uptick in the lager sales. So IPAs are still there's still a huge crowd for IPAs for sure. But it was a huge craze a few years ago, and we're noticing a lot of people are really gravitating towards lagers again. Which for beer nerds like me, that's super exciting because I prefer lagers. Those are the best kind of beers. So yeah, definitely a lot of respect for them around here.
No, I think we definitely agree. We're both big lager fans. Just like good sipping beer, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the style itself is usually harder to brew, because I think a lot of the breweries that have just focused purely on IPAs are starting to work out. For starters, the process is longer, so it's 3 weeks fermentation as opposed to 2 in the IPAs. So it is a longer process, and it's also a little bit more delicate because you can't kind of hide some of your beer faults in hops like a lot of the IPAs do.
Yeah.
So it is harder to get that. There's less hops, so it's harder to get it clean and crisp and consistent.
I mean, that speaks even more to all the awards that y'all have won so far too.
Yeah, and I can't help but brag about Wibby. I mean, it's absolutely, I really do love their beers, but I'm not a huge IPA drinker. Just either a little bit too bitter or too dank. But Wibby also has an award-winning cold IPA that we've got on tap tonight at Benny Rinaldi's, and it is clean and not too bitter. It satisfies an IPA drinker because it's got those hop tones to it. But for somebody like me that prefers not that, it is also just so easy to drink.
Right.
So yeah, Wibby journey.
Yeah, we definitely want to note that we are at Benny Rinaldi's in Park Circle, North Charleston, South Carolina, the United States of America, and they do a TapRoom live every month, and we try to be here and we throw a city report on there and learn more about beers and listen to local musicians. So let me ask you about this Denver area. So it is Longmont, is that what you said? So Longmont is right near Boulder, which is also
the
near
University of
Denver. So that's really ground zero for, when I think about it, that's ground zero for, cool beers and the Grateful Dead.
Absolutely.
Because everybody, I'm a humongous fan of Grateful Dead.
I happen to be drinking a home team Pilsner right now for widespread panic.
So anyway, I was looking at y'all's website and I'm like, man, this place is rad because not only is Wibby putting out cool beers, it seems to be a very event-driven spot.
We try to tie it into the German style beers, and we've got like the big German sort of beer garden that goes along with that. And then Ryan's love of music ties into some of the names of the beers.
So one of the challenges with distributing the beer and getting shelf space and getting it into shops, what's maybe been the challenge and what has been the easiest part besides your personality?
I imagine, even like transitioning from Colorado all the way to Hilton Heads too is such
logistics for sure has been the biggest problem. Trying to find a reliable company. The very first pallets of beer got frozen on the way over.
Oh, wow.
So we had to address that. So just getting the beers here is obviously, Colorado's a long way away. It's an expensive process. You also, it's a highly, the market itself is, it's hard to get into. So you can't expect the suppliers or the venues to pay for those prices. So you've got to be competitive in the market with price. So it's kind of us taking a little bit of a hit on that to get the prices right, to make sure that the punters themselves aren't paying for that. So that's probably the first thing, but it is the first 12 months is always a branding kind of exercise to see if the beers will work.
Right.
Having a quality product definitely helps. But definitely logistics has been the hardest part to start.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we don't want to make this into a marketing class. But I'm sure that, and y'all are professionals, so you're probably used to this dance and the way that you speak to people and how you can represent your product.
Yeah.
The best representing it is if it tastes good, and I'm taking this Pilsner right now. So.
Cheers.
Let's spill that right on my message.
Standing behind your product, having a product that you know is going to sell. Colorado Mountain Water really is unreal for making beers.
Yep.
So that's kind of helped.
Yeah, so a couple of extra questions I have. I noticed that you have a brewing release calendar. Is that brewing release calendar only local, or is it going to be national?
It will be eventually national. Obviously, at the start, we're kind of just trying to test the market on what's going to work, and to do that, it's the products that we know have legs in the market in Colorado. But as we grow, we've got a Oktoberfest beer coming with Bear Island this year, so that will be our first kind of major release of a product that isn't full time in the market. We're really excited about that. Our German style brewing hands himself to brewing a really good Oktoberfest beer, so we're excited about that. And if people do see something that they like, ask your local venue, because we're sure to get it in if enough people ask for it.
Yeah, and you have an advantage being in Hilton Head because there's a lot of transition there, transition people that go there and leave after visiting, and so they can
Absolutely.
evangelize.
And Greenville having the large BMW plant employs a lot of Germans, helps as well.
That's right. Okay, well, we enjoyed having y'all on and talking. Jason, do you have our next folks coming up? We are going to start getting into some musician talk, and we will talk to you after the show.
Thanks very much for having us on.
Thanks.
Thank you guys.
By the way, any social media you want to plug super quick?
Yeah, just Wibby Brewing
Okay.
on Insta.
Okay, cool.
Bear Island Distributors.
Okay,
Cheers.
we'll share both of those in the show notes of the actual podcast. So.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
All right.
Thanks guys
y'all.
so much.
Thanks. Can y'all hear that thing?
Yeah, I could.
Okay, this is not coming through.
It's coming through the headphones, yes.
K Glass and Cody Lane coming up for you.
Are we gonna start becoming like a Saturday morning radio station?
Yeah, we can be like the morning zoo
Yeah.
with all the sound effects, you know.
How many times can we put a percussion in?
Yeah.
Same spots.
So, one of
Same spots, one person there, one person here.
Yep.
Whatever. Cool.
Yeah, come on up.
Yeah.
Devin will help you get into this seat over here. DJ, come down. We got two singers.
This is not hard. Yes. Okay, cool, yeah. I like all the posts and appreciate that.
Yeah, it was nice talking about beer, something that we were pretty adept at talking about.
Or fine wine.
Yeah, thankfully it wasn't champagne or not too good. Can you hear yourself? Okay, do you hear yourself? Okay, it's best to talk into the microphone if you can. I'll let you know if it's wonky and you can pull it closer.
Yeah, perfect.
Hey, listen to that voice. This voices of singers. Okay, we do have a couple of folks that are performing tonight. So, will you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Cody Lynn.
Cody, how you doing?
I'm pretty good, guys. Thanks.
Okay, who else do we have? This person I don't know. Okay, so tonight, TRL Live, the TapRoom Live, Benny Rinaldi's, has been, I guess, championing open mic music and making sure people get exposure. The idea behind TRL is also to spread that beyond Benny Rinaldi's. So we're kind of all on board with that. We think that's pretty rad, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so we have two singers tonight that are going to be on, and first we will speak to you. Is this going to be your first time tonight?
This is my second.
Okay, here.
Yes, I think it was last month, I think.
Okay, so how do you perform? Do you perform singularly, singing, or do you guitar? How do you do that?
I do solo with guitar.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And you're playing?
Yes. Yep. I'm gonna do a couple originals and a couple covers.
Okay, how long have you been playing?
I've been singing forever. 20 plus years probably.
Okay.
I actually have only been playing the guitar for like 7 months.
7
And then,
months.
yeah, and before that I was gigging out with a baritone ukulele. So that was pretty fun. And then I had a couple duos and trios and bands and all that good stuff.
Right. Okay. Well, at least you weren't hesitant to jump into the fray. That's what I've always said. If you get a guitar and you just learn a couple of chords, you're in a band. Just immediately. So,
Yeah.
can let's do this real quick. Let's try to adjust. You see how on the camera? See if we need to get Kay in this. If you could move over just a little bit this way.
Perfect, that's it.
That's great. Maybe a little bit more.
That's perfect. Maybe just a little bit.
There we go.
Nice, nice. Turn around and say hello to the camera real quick. He's right behind you.
Right behind you. No, you're good. So, you mentioned you've been singing for a long time. What was that spark that made you want to start performing?
That's a great question. It's weird because I tend to be more introverted than extroverted, but being on the mic and like that just it flips a switch. So I don't know. It's like I did it once and I just fell in love with it, and I just had to keep doing it.
So Kay, how about you? Did you sing from a young time, or did you just start singing, or did you have did you play instruments as well?
Well, I play piano. I will never play piano out. I play piano in my house. But my mother tells the story all the time that I'm old. I look young, but I'm old. And it was back in the day when the crib used to be in another room, and my mother would always know that I'm awake because I would be singing. And so that's before I was speaking words. I was singing, whatever goofy gotten things came out of my mouth. But that's what she says, and she threw me on stage when I was 3.
So is music in the family then?
The love of music.
Okay.
I don't have any other performers in the family. But yeah, the love of music is definitely there. Yeah.
Okay, so once you started singing in the crib, hanging around the house, how long was it before you started singing in front of people?
I think you missed that. My mother threw me on stage at 3.
Oh gosh, okay, that was so sorry.
Yes, she did.
So was it 3 and then constantly singing for people?
Wow.
Yeah.
So you never had that sense of like stage fright. You were just like in there early.
Yeah, exactly.
You were numb to it by the time.
No. Some of the things I've done have been like, I've done stadiums before, routines, so it's like, I don't know stage fright. Of course everybody gets a little nervous, but it's like, I'll get the same stage fright for 5 people that I do for 2,000. It's just that nervousness before you start. But I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
How do you deal with that kind of stuff, Shelby?
It doesn't bother me anymore. I don't know. I'm with you. It's like the run up, that like lead up. You're kind of like, a little jitters, but it's like you've done it a million times. It's like, and honestly, it's just every time you perform, it's a little different, and it's just that's the fun. It's not gonna be perfect. It's always gonna be a little different, and I'm just excited to know what those little moments are gonna be, and it's fun.
I can say there's more going on afterwards. Like, definitely afterwards, if it's ever that you felt like you left something on the mic or something that you feel like, darn, I should have did that, or damn, I could have hit that harder, or that's like more emotion than anything.
Yes.
I agree.
So we've talked about like past history with like jumping into singing. Let's talk about like training, like vocal training. What type of development have y'all gotten into since y'all started doing live performances and singing?
I did like choir growing up.
Yeah.
I did that. I took lessons growing up. I always try to make sure I'm like warmed up, and I probably have some real old school methods, to be honest. I'm like, what are the new school warm ups? Because I just have all the old runs and the scales.
I never thought about that. New innovations for vocal warm ups.
Right. Like, what's the new age stuff? I don't know. I just do the same old stuff.
You get tired of the training that they do. That's like when I played football. We did the same thing for 10 years, before every game, and it's just I guess it's not like singing. But still, it's repetition,
Yeah, it's all muscles and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to teach vocals, and it's like, it's the same thing, like you said. You do the same runs, the same scales. I don't really think there's any. I mean, the throat hasn't changed, so it's like, there's really not that much to change there.
So when you're teaching or instructing, are you harder on yourself than the students? As far as, are you harder on your singing than you are with students?
Oh, definitely harder on myself.
Really?
Yeah, no. Because I mean, honestly, for myself, I feel like this is me. And if I don't do, the best job possible, like I was saying, there's a lot of emotion afterwards. Yeah. And I know you were saying you agree. That's the thing that kills me. It's like if I feel like I could have done more or I held anything back, like, oh my goodness, yeah. If I felt like, man, I should have just belted that out. Who cares when everybody's looking at, like, that's the stuff that gets me.
I try to be less like that these days, though, because I really harp over videos and things like that, and I really try to just give myself a little more like grace, and just like it's all good,
Yeah, but you're also writing original music, so you're performing 2 original songs today. So I mean, surely, I guess we could ask this of any person that writes original work. I mean, you pour yourself into that, or is how about the writing process? Do you sit down to write a song, or does it just come out of nowhere? Is it God giving you out of nowhere?
For me, I think I have a very strange journey with it, because I just wanted to sing. I wanted to sing all the hardest songs. I wanted to sing Whitney. So I had all these aspirations of just wanting to emulate other musicians, and I don't know, I just started getting these like beats in my head and these hooks. So I wrote a few songs, and then I kind of stopped because I wanted to learn a little more about theory so that I could really like piece a song together the right way, and like you said, maybe form a little bit more of a process, because the other songs I've written, they weren't really made with a process. They just kind of came to me, and I just kind of put everything together. So yeah, I'm kind of in a little bit of like a journey with that right now, to be honest.
See, that's interesting, because I feel like I'm going the opposite way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like theory, that was something I was taught like really, really young, so I know the theory, I know the structure, I know all of that. So it's like, for me, it's the opposite, because I know the song is formed well, and it's just like, I'm scared to let that part of me out. So the emotion behind it for me is the part where I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm ready to share that, right?
Yeah, because once it comes out, it's like then it's not all yours anymore. You're really putting it out there to the world.
Yeah.
I get that.
So you can get that back in the bottle if you let that genie out.
No.
So, okay, so a performance. Either one of you, talking about a performance. When you're singing, when you're performing, are you thinking about just literally at that time, how much am I going to let this go, or am I completely comfortable in this expression? Because Kay, you do a lot of, y'all rearrange a lot of standards, just completely different, and you go on, you're a very gifted jazz type singer, so that eludes improvisation and stuff like that. So, are you thinking? I mean, are you guys obsessing on what you're doing up there, or are you thinking, I'm going to pay the power bill in the morning?
I can say I'm obsessing. Yeah. I definitely can say that, only because and you mentioned it, I do like to rearrange things, and I want somebody to hear something in a way that they've never heard it before. So that's the reason why I always have lyrics in front of me, because I'm obsessing so much in my head. If the lyrics aren't there, I could be doing Superstition, which I've been doing since I was a kid. I will forget the words. So it's like, because I'm in my head, like, I need to take this way, I need to sing this note, I need to try to belt this part of it, which I've never tried to belt before. So it's like, while I'm doing it, I'm trying to I want to wow you. I want to hit something that I've never done before, because, and then too, it's like Superstition. I've done it a million times, and I know people have heard it a million times. And that's my thing. It's like I always want to do something that no one was expecting to hear. Even if it means I cross genres or something of that nature, you know, I want that. That's what I want. That's what I'm going for. And if I don't do it every time I get to the mic, then I feel like I left something out.
Well, Shelby, going forth, are you going to try to have an ensemble again, or are you going to stick with just a singer-songwriter? I hate to put it, I mean, with solo performance, or, you know, how do you feel, do you feel comfortable doing a band again?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would love to just focus on vocals. That would be the dream at this point. But you know, you gotta, a little bit of it is that hustle factor. You know, especially, you know, I'm fairly new to Charleston, so you know, luckily it's very collaborative instead of competitive, which is great, and it's amazing. But there is like a little bit of a hustle factor, so I needed to be able to be on my own and go to open mics and play for myself and not have to rely on other people to show up. But ideally, I would love to just focus on the vocals, like you were saying. Like I can't do that when I'm playing guitar. It's because I don't play piano well. Exactly, because you can't just think about, oh, I really want to open this up vocally, you know, because I'm like, oh, what chords am I playing? You know, so you've got a lot more going on in your head. But it's fun both ways. I just would enjoy just the vocals much more.
And that does bring up another question I want to ask the two of you. How is like networking going in the Charleston area?
Great. Yeah, I like I said, I'm fairly new, so it's really like this open mic like circuit of like meeting people. Like I was just talking to somebody else about it, but like even just in the last like 2 weeks, I've put like 30 numbers in my phone. I'm like, who are these people? But it's like it's all just musicians and just getting out there and talking to everybody, and I just love it. It's so collaborative. People are so nice. It's been great. Honestly, I love it.
Okay, you're pretty deep in the scene, right?
Yeah.
You got a lot of.
I was gonna say I had the exact opposite.
This is a great interview.
Like, I can't lie to you. Like when I first came back home, I said I was gonna give up music, and I was so serious. Like I was like, I'm tired of these darn Charleston musicians. They can all suck it. Like I'm done. Like when you're saying that, I'm glad because like I'm glad you're getting that because I got the exact opposite. And I hate to say it this way, everybody's head was up their ass. Like they were all like, oh no, I've been playing this place for 10 years now. It's like, dude, you suck. Like, leave me alone. Like, just do you want to play with me or not? But it was just like, I got closed doors. Like, I mean, and I'm glad that maybe that means that the scene has changed so much.
It is interesting too because we were talking about like multiple different music genres and scenes, you know, that are all like interwoven, like doing different things at different times.
Yeah, and I think it has developed, and I think that, and I'm glad that you've gotten, you know, more of that welcome wagon from Charleston, but yeah, now the things I've got, everybody's head was up their ass, and like everybody's like, well, I played, you know, the Warhouse for 10 years, are you any good? Like, I don't care where you've been, like, can you play? Like, what's going on? Yeah, exactly, and like, I don't know, but I'm glad you're getting that, honestly, and like, me and you, we can collab.
Yes,
you know, like
you and I were singing the last time we were here at the end.
Yes, we did try to sing.
Only if you bust out the piano.
Oh yeah.
Well, Kate, this is kind of a good plug for the TRL and Benny Rinaldi anyway, because there are different genres that are now, or there are different types of performers that are now starting to hit these things. Where back in the old days, I grew up in Charleston. It was very siloed off in musical styles and musical genres, and nobody cross-pollinated. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Do you all have any social media you want to plug super quick?
Oh, well, definitely TRL. I'm so mad that I didn't say it earlier. So sorry, it slipped my mind, but they are doing a great job in trying to make sure that there's that welcome wagon. So I love them. Yeah, Stripe Pig has been helping me a lot too. But my own social media, K Glass Music, KAE Glass
Talk about that in the month of June.
Yeah. Oh yes. So the end of the month, we're gonna be doing like a get together where everyone can come in and kind of like, you know, find their place within TRL. So definitely.
And where's he going to be?
Yeah, sorry, at the Straight Pig. I'm sorry, I'm bad at this.
Straight Pig.
At the Straight Pig, last Monday of the month. Hopefully we get it done more than just once a month, but for this time, the last Monday of the month, but definitely a time for everybody to get together, collab, learn who's who, and maybe do some cross collabing and things like that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm at Cody Lynn Music, COTYLYNN.
Gotcha, Cody. And also want to shout out to Strike Pity Distillery, who are
Yes,
who are,
yes.
who are friends of the podcast,
Pixie
along
is
with Pixie and
awesome.
everyone.
Yes.
So we're going to go ahead and take a break and get our next guest in, and possibly a beer. Wait, wrong button. I got a new sound pad. Check this out. For real? Yes.
I like that one transition.
Okay, I guess it does help if I take the headphones off a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's good to know. And now we have coming up another musician.
It's like underlying feedback.
All right, some other news of the day.
All right, I'm gonna go get a beer.
Yeah, it's fine.
Alright, Jeremy and Lynn showed up, and I'm gonna have you guys go on sound. Well, I don't know if Jeremy's there. Hey, Jason, yeah, you guys. Somewhere there, maybe. And actually, if you want to grab the patch.
Sure.
Yeah. Hey, are we just having the two?
Maybe three.
That's Dennis. Yeah. Let's make sure that mic is. Can you give me a mic check on that? It was a little buggy recently. Nah, that's buggy. Let me get another one for you. Check that.
Are you live streaming now?
Huh?
Are you live streaming?
I am live streaming. Which was off.
Was the night before office?
Yeah, so we're live streaming so everybody can see how this whole crap goes. You can adjust that as you like.
Alright, this will be the final one, so I'm gonna give you a call.
I think Dav's got some beers or. Who am I?
Do it, yeah. Do it Neon style.
Back.
Cool. DJ's back. All right, everybody, we can see the backs of your heads. So you two turn around.
Yeah, trying to face the camera.
Hey, you're live on YouTube. What's up? What's up?
Yeah, I love you too.
All right, I know Isaiah, but introduce yourself anyway.
Like I said, my name is Isaiah. I do a lot of solo work, but I also front a band called Black Velvet Revival.
That's right. We're going to talk about them a little bit today. Gentlemen? You?
Oh, yeah. I'm Connor Stone. I have a project called Color Mac, and recently we started a band called the DSLs together. I met them 2 weeks ago, and that's all I'm doing right now.
Okay.
That's it.
So, Connor, what's your name?
I'm Jason Wolster,
Okay.
and I'm in a few bands in Augusta, Georgia. I'm in Bella Goth. I have a collective called the Augusta Cowpunk Collective, and then Connor and I started Neon Tomboy and the DSLs in the last few weeks. And also we're in a band with Drew McQuiston from Secret Guests, and that band's right now called Calf Punk. It's the working title for that band.
And what is everyone?
And Husky. I'm also in a band called Husky with Stephanie Gilliard.
Nice.
That's
what do
too
y'all
many
do?
bands. For Christ's sake.
There's way more than that.
What do you do? Do you have a job?
I do. I'm a college professor.
Oh, wow. And you
awesome.
still have all those bands. So that's very selfish. There's a lot of people that wish they were in bands.
Yeah.
And I'm in really 14 bands.
Okay, cool.
So are you a bassist or?
So I play drums and guitar and
I'll take the lager. I think I already
Yeah, so
have.
most of the bands I play drums for and play guitar and sing for 3 of the bands.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Speaking of bands, how's Black Velvet Revival doing?
Oh man, it's been good. We've been getting original shows, but we still like doing the cover thing because money's good.
Yeah.
As always.
I mean, I first hearing the name DSLs, are we going to talk about the actual name of the band?
Digital subscriber lines.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's what we're gonna say now for YouTube. You know.
Yeah.
Deborah's
Play it
secret
safe.
love.
Yeah.
You can look it up on Urban Dictionary. It might say something else.
DSL
I'm
100.
not gonna say it.
So how'd you, the two of y'all meet then?
Open mic at Godwin's in Somerville,
Yeah.
and we were complimenting each other on our similar tattoos. And then he got up, and I was like, "This guy's either gonna be whack or awesome," and he was awesome. And I was banging my head listening to it.
Yeah, so the open mics there, I you played Godwin's, right?
Yeah, well, they're
Aren't they they're like the OG in Charleston, right? Or at least along with, what's the other one?
Ice House.
Yeah, Ice House, and then the.
That's my day job.
Yeah.
Where's
I
that?
serve bartending downstairs.
Oh, you do?
Shout out to Ice House.
Nice host.
Ice Goose.
So I say you had a lot of time to do open mics now that you have a full band.
Not really. I do make it out every once in a while, but between solo gigs and band gigs, we stay pretty busy.
Yeah, that must be a hell of a balance.
Yeah, I imagine 80% of the time now it's just scheduling, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much that, and on my off days, figuring out how I'm gonna preserve my voice for the next week.
We were just talking with two vocalists, and I was like, what do you just decide to go all out, you know, invest your voice out?
Yeah, or just get an organ.
Yeah.
Quit singing. I've been in that singing issue before. Not being able to sing in a show, and that's not fun at all when you're just a singer. So Cowpunk, you had me at Cowpunk, of course.
Or it's actually calf punk. Is now the genre we created ourselves. It's if egg punk and cow punk fucked and had a little baby. It's calf punk.
Oh, so it is calf punk.
It's calf punk. Yeah. It's a new thing that we are. That we're doing.
So is baby cows called veals? Is that what that is?
No, that's like the meat that you eat of.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is a calf, but once you serve it on a plate, it's
Yeah, once you kill it and eat its flesh,
Listen,
then it's
I
baby.
have 2 degrees. Some things confuse me.
Yeah.
Okay, calf punk. So I'm not going to go down the line of all the calf punk bands that I like listening to.
Just tell them, teach, educate.
What, like Thick White Rope and Horse Heads, stuff like that. So anyway, I'm not going to.
I mean, no, I guess to that point, do we want to talk influences for everyone?
Yeah, how about you, Isaiah? Where you from? Where you from?
Yeah.
So originally I'm from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And a little place called Allentown. It's about an hour outside of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I was born there, wasn't raised there. I was raised pretty much everywhere in this country. Moved around a lot. Charleston 5 or so years ago, and been playing here in the area since. And as far as the band, as far as the vocalist, the band's sound, I'd say we're definitely we lend ourselves to grunge and post-grunge.
Right.
And, bands like Alice in Chains, definitely as a vocalist and a writer, absolutely. Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Audio Slave.
Yeah, grunge and post-grunge, or that whole genre really had a resurgence the past few years, especially in the Southeast that I've noticed. And there's a lot of, like Willick was kicking around, Obvious Liars, stuff. The bands are playing that kind of stuff. It's nice to see it. It's kind of, go ahead.
We went to the same. We're 10 years apart, but we went to high school in like the same county in Maryland.
Yeah.
So when I met him, I was like, "You went to Tuscaloosa?"
Yeah.
So we know some people. I think, maybe I passed you by when you were little.
Oh yeah.
Skated by.
For sure.
Played there.
I was a hardcore skater.
Did you have the same hair?
Pretty much, yeah.
Nice.
I look the same as I do now.
Yes.
Well, what about the DSLs? What do y'all try to?
So my project Collar Mac, I recorded and write everything at home, and I tried not to call ourselves punk. I let other people call me punk.
Yeah.
I have, and it's really cool. But I'm really just trying to write alt rock. I'm singing lyrics, all jazz. But I just wanted something that was basically Color Mac, but a little easier, and it's really easy to play it with 2 people. If anyone else wants to hop in, cool. But it's just kind of like Color Mac's little weird stepbrother. That's a little naughty.
Yeah.
A little naughty.
So y'all are performing tonight? Together?
Indeed.
I hope so.
Together or
As long as we stick together.
story?
Yeah.
When you were here, I mean, what were y'all just chilling on some pizza and
Just now? Oh, I got the
Justin's like,
nacho.
get on it, get on that.
Yeah, I got He said, "You bring pizza." Like, no, I'm just gonna eat it all the time.
Dude, we always think about that doing a podcast, and I'm like, if I get a Rinaldi's pizza up here, I'm gonna have room for the gear. This is big as it's ridiculously big. So,
I'm a size queen with pizza, so.
really?
Oh yeah. Big time.
So that, I mean, that's the cool thing. What do y'all think about doing an open mic in like a nestled little
Like a
kind
pizza
of
joint, yeah, like this.
Yeah, but it's also a tap room, it's the back room. Like, does everybody know about this place?
This one's different because clearly people are here to talk about music and listen and hang out and have a
Yeah.
good time.
Yeah.
So this is cool. If it was some random place, I'd be like, okay, maybe it might be fun. This is like special.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, especially because when we go out and we hit happy hours and there's something going on, or even when I played music, there was a lot of times the musicians were just the background noise, and they really made a super effort here to make it the focus of the evening. As long as we buy, beers from Wibby Why can't I say
I got one. It's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
As long as we buy beers from Wibby and eat pizza from Benny Rinaldi's. But
Also, side note, I got booked here once, and I can't remember her name. I'm embarrassed. But she hooked me up with so many gigs, and like the people that book places here, they treat you.
No,
Like,
it
they
is
try to keep you in the
almost.
loop. I messed up and I stopped applying. I missed one gig, and so like I'm kind of out of
Yeah.
the circle.
No, I mean-
so I got to start again.
This whole thing is kind of like a music thing,
Yeah.
just to experiment and play around and even talk shop like we're doing right now.
right, and so hell, I'm super stoked that Rinaldi's gives and TapRoom Live gives us the opportunity to come in here, because a lot of the podcasts we do are on location with certain folks, and we don't have a lot of leeway, and we can't vamp around and talk about whatever. So where are you from?
I'm originally from Somerville, South Carolina.
Okay.
I've lived in Georgia for 20 years. So I've been in Augusta.
So
20
you're
years.
still in Augusta teaching?
I am, yeah. I'm here this summer for all summer, and it's been awesome. It's been really fun so far. It's been really cool.
Okay, right on, right on.
He's smart.
Yeah, I'm a smart guy.
Yeah.
I know things about stuff.
I made him say that. He is smart.
Oh man, we are so gonna have you next time and bring it up.
Nice. Pop quiz. Let's go. English.
Okay, English.
I'm
Well,
tired.
I've gamified, so my whole class is arcade, basically.
Oh man, my bad grammar gimmick is not working tonight. I have a freaking English teacher over here, man.
Bad grammar makes cool songs though.
Yes.
It does.
It can, especially punk
Ain't
rock.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I say
does.
ain't a lot.
Does it bug you when people say
Ain't.
library?
Not at all. No.
That's my favorite mispronounced word.
Library.
Yeah. It's a good word. I actually looked that up on some AI the other day, because I'm like, well, surely somewhere it can say library. And then when I typed it in, they were like, it's in no circumstances is it okay to pronounce it library. This your cartoon character. Can we get Jeremy in for a second?
Yeah, they're moving the car and then I'll bring them over.
Okay, cool.
See, actually, and then see
Oh, yeah, so we got 5? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, yeah, he'll be right back. So he can come in for the last 5.
Yeah, we'll bring him on. I want to find out what's going on with y'all in the future with TRL.
Yeah. And you have to take a finger on the hole.
So what guitar are you playing now?
It depends.
Yeah.
I play mainly in Martin at my solo gigs. It's just one of those black exterior specials, which is really great for summer gigs because when you're outside sweating, you really want to damage the wood, and this guitar really can't do that. It's solid black. I forget the name of the material, but it's really hard damage really well.
Yeah.
Band gigs, I really prefer. It's a really niche guitar. It's called an Ibanez Darkstone. And it's a Les Paul hybrid kind of thing, but it's a risk, dude.
I'm more interested in the practicality of you getting a guitar than outdoor gigs and like I'm gonna sweat on this.
Listen, you're talking about that in the most humid state in South
And
Carolina.
Yeah. Dude, that's some shit, man. I really, that's I would have never thought about that.
It's happened a couple of times where I bring a guitar to a gig and I'm out in the hot sun for 3 hours and I end up like, there is water damage in the guitar now.
Yeah, oh my God. You know what? I got an idea. Terry cloth guitars, or just put towel. You know, actually just get like an old get a surfboard sock and put it on there.
Fender towel.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm gonna make so much money. Let me get on that domain right
Yeah, write that down. Shark Tank. You're either really good with that guitar, or you know you're bad, and you know they're going to throw their drink stage at you.
Yeah.
You got to get that too, you know, just in case.
It happens. It's also perfect for punk rock shows where everybody's, you know, a little chaotic with the beers and whatnot. So what's the next gigs for you and you? Go first,
So we.
Besides tonight.
I myself do play a lot as a cover solo artist. I throw in originals every now and again. That's a couple times a week. The band won't be coming back until July, so we have, I believe, this isn't our next show. It is one of our biggest shows coming up. We're playing July 25th at the Rick House, opening up for Jimmy's Chicken Shack. Oh yeah, and we got a few other bands. We got a few other local bands. I believe the Library is playing with us. They're a younger group. They're still maybe 10, 11, but they rock. They sound. Other than that, we have Obvious Liars with us, and they're awesome. For years and serious.
Man, I'm always indebted to them for my old.
Color Mac has a gig at Tin Roof on the 4th of June, but we're going to surprise them, and we're going to drop the DSL right on their face.
Who are y'all playing with at Tin Roof?
Oh, man. Oh. Okay, go to him, and then I don't remember.
We got Neon Tomboy has a show in Atlanta, and the second weekend of June. Yeah, it's like a variety show. There's a bunch of comedians and shit. No, that's Augusta. It's a place in Atlanta I've never been to.
Oh, we're doing that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm more excited now.
So yeah, he and I are going from here.
I just remember it's us, Color Mac, the Stray Lions, and Matt Real and the Glens. Matt Real can rip.
Yeah, I know Matt.
Matt Real can rip, and so can his boys.
Yep.
Pretty nice. I think.
All right, well, appreciate having you on. Let's go ahead and finish this up with
Any social
media or any advice.
Yeah, so we're on pretty much every social media platform, like Bible, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. It's all the same. We just put out in April, and pretty much those songs that you play, but on guitar, slightly more. This summer, around late July, early August, we have another record coming out. Let me find social media.
Okay, cool. Did you record everything here?
Actually, we recorded the whole thing in Somerville. We're working with a local studio called Certified Over Genius. They're both two super cool guys. Been in the scene for years. They really know what they're doing. Yeah, they give us a good product.
Okay, shout out to them. How about y'all?
Color Mac, you can find on Spotify and YouTube and all the good stuff. It's eventually going to be DSL. The Step Brother's going to arrive soon. Color _1 on Instagram. Mac being MAC.
Yes, and so my label's Dinosaur 3. It's like a Roman numeral 3, so 3 capital I's. And so all the records are on all the different streaming sites, and then on Instagram is Bella, BLA, 2_.
What's up, Bella Goth? That is so funny.
I love typing that in when I tell you that stuff.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to hit up Bella.
Bella. So yeah, of course the About House. Yeah. Sorry. I like how you explained the Roman numeral 3 eyes. You know, in case anybody.
Can't find the character.
Who knows? You know, kids are dumb as hell right now. I mean, they're just punching anything into computers and
You
whatnot.
realize you're talking to an English teacher.
I know. But anyway, I appreciate having y'all, and we're going to see if old Jeremy can come up here.
Yes. Thanks,
Instead
guys.
of talking to
Appreciate it.
Chow. Thanks for coming.
Appreciate you.
Enjoyed it.
Appreciate it.
Y'all are so polite. Oh my Lord.
Handshakes all around.
All right, we're going to wrap it up with OG. We're coming over here.
Yeah, go ahead. Sit
Yeah.
here. Get your face in the camera.
Oh my gosh, just, well, you're in the camera, so you got no choice now.
Yeah.
So if you come in a little closer to the microphone, then we get it.
All right.
All right, so I want to get Jeremy here to kind of give us an update on what's going on with TRL. Yeah, you know, just a nice overview. How's it been going the past few months since we talked to you?
Man, it's awesome. TRL is one of those things that it really brings like a lot of artists together. And unfortunately, I won't be continuing with the thing, but it's nothing to do with the TRL itself, because it's an incredible thing.
Right.
It's awesome. It's the artists make it everything.
Yeah. So you're still performing though?
Oh no,
otherwise?
I'll be filling out my Thursday,
Oh, okay.
But I just couldn't continue doing this.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it's just a ton of planning.
It's a ton of planning. It's a whole culmination of a lot of things that you put together, and you kind of also have to like throw together last minute. Curveballs. It's a lot.
So what's next for you there? Now that you're going back to music, you're focusing on music.
So, kind of in that same spirit, I've been hosting like events, kind of like my property, just like bringing artists over and doing like a full composition thing. Because the number one thing that like I'm most passionate about with music is composition, songwriting, and not for myself. For the longest time, I've always been, like interested in and longing to write for others. So.
Yeah, doing like focus on collaboration and all that stuff.
Sometimes I write music, I think to myself, like, this is for, like somebody else.
Yeah.
That is interesting because like Prince and Bruce Springsteen did that a lot, and I guess, getting into the composition, and you're into the craft of creating music,
Right.
not just playing music.
Right.
Like
I tell people all the time I'm not like a really good musician, but I'm a songwriter.
Yeah.
Right. How many hours a day, or even daydreaming, or just walking around thinking of what you might do in your next thing? I mean, how much of your day are you obsessed with this?
Sometimes, yeah. I feel like, I've been living by this motto lately that I'm an artist that lives to inspire and aspires to live just a little bit more, and kind of, I'm so thankful to be alive and sentient. It's crazy how we have this opportunity to even like have this conversation as people, and at the end of the day, I just find there's just a beauty in everything.
There is, absolutely, and there's an interconnection, I think, that makes this all happen. There's a web, a fiber, a string theory or something that's making music for everyone. So it doesn't sound like you're going to stop that. I know that I was talking to the DJ the other day about even what you do and how it must be tough to be a stage manager or just time everything out and stuff like,
Right.
That's a heavy lift right there, and then you have to turn over and do some singing or
Right.
playing. So
Yeah, and I'm willing to just kind of run with it no matter what. I'm not like the best stage man. I've learned that you kind of just go up there and you throw yourself out there, and just like People don't really care.
I mean, is it one of those things where you can do all the planning in the world and something that's going to change their life?
I focused so hard at first, getting it all like put together and everything. And honestly, the more chaotic that they become, just the better it is.
Right on. Well, just speaking of that, there's a music event coming up in about 10 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Jeremy, got any social media you want to plug real quick?
Yes. You can catch me on everything except for Instagram at music, or Jeremy Hobson Live. Instagram is music with Jeremy. You can catch me continuously. I don't post a lot of social media. You know, it's I feel like you waste so much time when you do. If I spend a minute on social media, I'll spend an hour.
That's fine. They say we just make it Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So if somebody wants to book you, then
yeah. And you know, it was actually funny because like last week, somebody last minute needed me to come and film at like neighborhood tap house, and I didn't post nothing about it. I just went and did the thing, just did it. And it's kind of been like with the last like 2 gigs, and I'm like sitting there thinking like, you know, like I exert so much energy out there, emotion and stuff like that. When the tree's just like going out there doing that thing, doing what you're passionate about, and hoping that others, you know, enjoy that.
I think that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here so we get the music out. We are the Shrimp City Report, gladly signing off. Not gladly. We happily had an enjoyable podcast. So we're going to be out. Hit us at shrimpcityreport.com and then on all the social medias. We will have this recording on every platform you can possibly think of. Got anything to add, DJ? Have a nice night. Go West Ham. Bye.